stream today, but it's great to see you guys. Wait, this is another stream telling you I don't have a stream. Happy post Day of the Dead. Did you guys know yesterday was the cycle of the Day of the Dead? Mixcoatl, this dude that wears a bone jaw mandible face piece, he speaks for the dead. And because he speaks for the dead, he wears this giant jawbone piece. Good morning, Emil. I take it you guys can hear me okay. I wanted to say hello. It was a great gathering at Fall Creek Falls. Wow. New friends, new ideas, all that stuff, and looking forward to getting back to work. My computer is actually rendering the enteric system right now, the enteric kingdom, as we discussed Wednesday. This idea of Maya is the idea of living inside of a snake, right? The cosmos is a giant snake, and it is slowly, time itself is you being digested by this giant snake. Believe it or not, is the idea. And, well, wouldn't you know? There's an enteric kingdom inside of you. You know, your Taurus, from the time you put something in your lips until the time it comes out of your other lips, is a journey through Maya. And along that way, you as God are feeding your the people that live inside of you, the organs, right, that are there, giving them your blessings or your lack of blessings, depending on how well or how unwell you treat yourself, right? So this Day of the Dead is closer than you think. I like how the Day of the Dead is viewed not as death is a thing that happens. Death is actually a state. You are in a state of death. You remain in a state of death. Death is a verb. It's not a noun. This is very different. And when I was reading about this yesterday, I started to trip me out because I started thinking about heart sacrifice, right? And that you and I might think that this culture was saying, in order for the world to live, we have to give it a heart. In fact, looking at Codex, that's what they wrote down, right? And apparently that's what happened. If you look at some of the sites where there's all these sacrificial evidence found. But let's take it one more step. The fifth sun is the idea of a moving sun, a sun that moves through time. So the Aztec or the Mexican, or it depends on where you want to say this idea is from, but the fourth sun didn't work because it didn't have a persistence of time. And that the fifth sun would only work if and only if the sun would move. And the world runs on, according to this idea, runs on a beating heart. The sacrifice of a heart causes the world to run. Now let's take this personal. Stop looking at it externally. Your heart has its own neurons surrounding it. It is its own neural net. It is its own intelligence, right? Your heart is an entity. Please identify with your heart, but also compassionate your heart even deeper by realizing that it is its own living creature. This living creature sacrificed and is sacrificing itself. This thinking, neurological, myocardial species is sacrificing itself right now inside of your rib cathedral so that you may live. So the idea of the Aztec sacrifice is beating inside of you right now. That entity that is your heart, the entity that we dismiss while also romanticizing at the same time. We dismiss the ego, but we tell everyone, oh, have more heart, but we're constantly denying that very creature inside of us. This is a kind of disassociation in a beautiful way. This is opportunity, right? This is opportunity. This is a golden opportunity, right? Plastics, think plastic shapes the future is plastics. This is the opportunity, right? Tupperware ain't got nothing on this because you get to find a deeper association in your heart by recognizing it as its own being, and that this being gave itself to you, for you, so that you may live. And that only happened through the fifth son, which is this concept of time, which is this concept of being digested by Maya ever so slowly. We met this enteric kingdom on Wednesday in our class Talking to Reptiles. I realize many of you are not on Patreon, so you don't know that. I want you to know that we in June declared that the public free live stream thing requires this airship be at Illuminati 33. You remember that? We need to be 33 certified. We were at 31, and we've been under 33 for a couple months. So to keep the airship burning, I'm actually making smaller videos now, and making those smaller videos or shorter videos, I've been busy with Blender, learning how to do like more 3D stuff, a lot of Unreal Engine stuff, and most all of my efforts have been going into these courses, the Monday School, which is on Wednesday night. That's right, we're doing Monday School and Wednesday night. And the airship, you saw some clips of airship that have been put out, so thank you for coming to Airship, where we have these kind of conversations. I also want to drop the idea of, when I say drop, I mean consider the idea of what it actually means to, you know what, I'm gonna say that for Airship, never mind. I've got another doozy on people and on whether or not we should talk about each other. In a lot of ways, people are paintings. And if we really want to be honest with ourselves, not only do we absolutely talk about the paintings that move us, but that we absolutely talk about them precisely because they move us. We don't talk about them because they're beautiful. We talk about them because they move us. And something that moves you isn't always going to be beautiful. Something that puts a dent inside your field isn't necessarily something that is automatically qualified as beautiful. So when you talk about someone behind their back, what you're really doing is talking about your field. And even the entire concept of behind someone's back, if you can't say what you're saying, regardless of who's in the room, then that's more of an issue. But if you have something to say about someone and they're not there, say it. Say it, speak their name, say exactly what you think. Do you know why? Because people do it anyway. And if we start to live this idea that no one should talk about anyone behind their back, then it gives the person who wants to act shitty the opportunity to simply leave. They could just leave and say, oh, you can't talk about me behind my back. It's like, well, that's convenient. So no, if I've wronged you or destroyed your reputation of me or your impression of me, you need to talk about me. And if I'm not around, then I may define that as talking about you behind my back, but you're going to do it anyway. So why are we pretending that we shouldn't do it? More importantly, why are we suggesting that we should all live our lives in this museum, look at all these paintings, but none of us can actually talk about things in the paintings that we didn't like? If we can't talk about things that we don't like, then we're really not talking about things that we're liking. We're simply having this facade game with each other where we're deciding who can squeeze their butthole the tightest, because really that's the only way your neocortex is going to be able to lie your reptilian into suppression, right? This is the very birth of microgestures. You know that, right? The reason why we have microgestures, and you would have learned this Wednesday in our class, by the way. By the way, any level you're at Patreon, you're going to be able to watch the Talking to Reptiles series. So what it is that if you want to participate in the class, there's like a higher tier, but then the replays are free for patrons. So, but you know, the jaw is 50 milliseconds behind present time, but your neocortex is 500 milliseconds, which means your mouth is 10 times ahead of time, 10 times in the future than you are. And what does that do? It leads to microgestures, right? Reflexology. And when we see these gestures in each other, we're given the truth about things. But because we shut off our olfactory, because we've suppressed this idea that no one ever lies and no one should talk about anyone behind their back, we're living this weird fantasy life where we're just squeezing buttholes in a big contest, right? If you want to beat a lie detector test, squeeze your butthole. Squeeze your butthole before you go in, and then the entire time as they're asking you your base questions, those are the times that you're squeezing your butthole. It's during the base questions, right? What you're doing is you're activating your polyvagus, you're vasoconstricting your entire system, you're shutting down your vent ports, and you're establishing that my normal tension is like this. This is what people do who have trouble in the world, right? Have trouble with the way it works. But if you can squeeze your butthole from the time you're born till the time you die, I say more power to you, man. Go for it. That's a pretty powerful sphincter, you know? And hey, sometimes you got to bow down the sphincter. So even the uptight people, I think, are making us better. They're showing us the endurance that we could have to resist the fact that all of us lie, that all of us see things that we don't want to be seen, but there's nothing we can do to suppress them, right? So there you go. Let's see. Say that again, please, regarding the mouth ahead. Okay, yeah, be the reptilian overlords of the future is what I called this in the presentation Wednesday. Your jaw muscles are 50 milliseconds behind a stimulus. You know how you go to the doctor, right? And someone hits you on the knee and your foot kicks up and there's nothing really you can do about it. There is, as we learned Wednesday, there are 3 time machines inside of you. The present time is this reptilian, the reptilian overlord, the think about it, David Icke, right? All of the end of COVID with David Icke, right? That guy is saying that it's the reptilian overlords that are controlling you. And fucker's right, because your nervous system has a reactive state, reactive. And really, that is the closest immersion you will ever find to reality. One in which you are so symbiotic that you literally seem to have no free will at all. What do I mean? If I touch you on your knee, there is a identity in you, a kingdom in you, a reptilian kingdom in you that will automatically react hands down. And that kingdom has an advantage over you. It gets a head start for every single decision you make, think, do, or try and do. You're the one that's living 500 milliseconds behind that reaction. But you're not just behind, you're also ahead. This is what we covered Wednesday. You have this epimethean brain, the hind brain, which is looking in the past. It's the thing that knows all your pain. Then you have this promethean forebrain that's forging the future. It knows what's coming ahead, right? So it's always forging that future place. Those 2 different time machines converge, but technically, maybe if you wanted to argue about it, I think that you might need to argue that there is a reptilian underlord or overlord, I don't care which way you want to call this, that technically has an advantage over you at all times. This shows itself most in your jaw. It just happens to be that your jaw is closely, directly wired so that the thalamus has an even longer time trying to control what that thing just said. And so you have microgestures, right? But you only have microgestures when you have self-talk. Has anyone noticed that? Your self-talk stops when your microgestures stop. Why do your microgestures stop? It's not because you're able to hide your feelings. It's because you're authentic and you no longer want to hide your feelings. You don't care to hide your feelings. You know why you don't care to hide your feelings? Because you're associated. You're here. You recognize the importance of what others might call flaws. You consider vital data. Therefore, you're not walking around squeezing your butthole, right? Insisting that you have to, I can't let people know I have a microwave, or I can't people let know that this happened, or that I said this, or that I was thrown out this group, or that this group says this, or that I hate them, or that they hate me, or all that stuff is like, you should be proud. You should be proud. If someone banishes you, be proud. Did you do something to earn it? Fucking be proud, right? If someone's talking shit about you, think about what you did. If what you did feels honorable and feels good and feels authentic to you, then you are quite ready and willing. You know that that's happening because the reaction is just showing you what you just did, right? So all these things are really just coming back to your, how tight are you? What is your tension? Now, you can do reflexology if you want. We can do the Elephant Man. Pretending to be the Elephant Man, we discovered this weekend, is probably the greatest way to have some reflexology. Have you seen this movie, right? John Merrick? You put your face into Elephant Man. I am not an animal. I am a human being. See that? When you now I got to blow my nose. But when you do that, you're unsphinctering your face, right? Right. So your face is hey Raina. I'm pronouncing your name right, right? Because I know it's got all. We've been over this. I think oh wow, we just wiped our nose at the same time. Oh my gosh, B, what is going on? What is going on? Yeah. So I forgot what I was talking. Yeah, the reflexology. Get into your body. You lie. You lie because you're beautiful. You lie because you're creative. Feel it. Be the lie. Come on. Be the lie. I don't lie, James. You see how creative you are? You see how creative you are? It's hilarious. People are putting in the comments, because I typed this in community forum. They're like, yeah, I don't see how people lie all the time. It's like so hard. I just can't lie. And I'm just like, my God, you were beautiful at that. You were so good at that. Do you have any idea how good you are at that? You are so good at that you don't even do it. That is some massive ninja skills. Am I right? Seriously, that is some massive ninja skills. If you want this, you can have it. Sorry, talking to someone else. So, those are the kingdoms. That's what's going on. I think we're probably done here. We're probably nothing else. Let's see if there's any questions. Waino Sexton is good at lying. Yeah, Waino Sexton is good at finding the vein. Waino Sexton found the vein. Waino Sexton is good at being struck by lightning, right? This is why them or they should hire me. Be like, James, do you have any psyops for us? And I'd be like, yeah, we need the greatest, most successful form of advertising in the world. And then we need the most painful issues of mankind. And we're gonna combine those two things together. And we're gonna sacred clown the fuck out of everyone here. You'd be like, why are you doing that? It's like, because the land needs us. The land is asking us to just do what we do. And the land's like, if you stop squeezing your butthole so much, oh, it'd be so much better. Oh, I can feel it. Oh, and the land's like, oh God, I can feel you. You just let go of your butthole. All right, so everyone, you wanna know how to let your butthole? This is a funny technique. You're actually gonna squeeze it. I already know this. I'm going to pay for this. This is why I don't do live streams anymore, because the audience here doesn't even want this. Like this kind of free audience, They're just like, he talked about butthole, therefore Aperture and Giants, and even I'm symbiosis. Yeah. But if you really want to relax, if you really want to find that symbiosis, step out of the sovereignty, babe. Step into the symbiosis. I want you to clinch buttock pinches, as Bronson Pinchot would say. Viva the buttock pinches. You're going to squeeze. Keep holding it. Keep holding it. You're looking at a man in a live feed squeezing his butthole for you in the hopes of helping the soil. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm doing it right now. I'm squeezing right now as I'm holding it, and I'm holding it, and I'm holding it. I can feel my whole body's tension up. This is how many of you live. Oh, God, how do you do this? Oh, fuck. I can feel how you live. I can feel how some of us live. Are you doing this with me? Please do it with me. Please don't make me do this alone. It gets weird if I do it alone. It's weird. Come on, Ferner Raisin. Please do this. Desiree Exxon, please squeeze with me. I'm still squeezing. Raina, squeeze. Come on, Debbie, squeeze. Bala Utalia, squeeze. Hermaphrodite. Yeah, come on, guys. Come on. I know you're already members. James, I'm already a patriot. Why are you making me squeeze my butthole? I know. Yes, Dolphin. We are in buttholes. Yes, let it go before you puke, but don't let it go. Hold a little bit longer, because this is how you compassionate how everyone else lives. They're gonna find out that I secretly compassionate Lucifer, right? Or they're gonna find out that I'm actually wondering if maybe this whole transhumanism thing is like a natural process that's built into our inner desire to develop a mecha suit, because literally every single thing else with an exoskeleton in the world has found a way to utilize technology. My God, bunk deedles are wrapping poo on themselves in a mecha suit. And we're still holding, I'm still holding, because we only have 24. I'm gonna hold my butthole until we get 25 likes. Oh my God, oh, come on guys, hold it with me. Oh, we're at 84, we got 24 likes, squeeze. Thank you, Debbie, thank you. Do you see how Can you understand how much this sucks? This is, thank you, Tony B. Hold it in, baby. I'm still holding. This is hard. Thank you. I got 25, and we're going to let go. And, holy fuck. Dude, watch my face. Watch my face. Look at my face while I unclench my butthole. All of you. What do you see? The reflexology? Oh. If you find yourself tense and you do that, when you let go, what it really does is just show you how tense everything was. This is how reflexology works. You know what that is, right? This idea of your face, because we have interfaces. Oh my God, James, are you saying that because the word face is in the word interface, that maybe that too may be evidence that those things are connected? I'm like, yeah, I think it's a clue. I think it's a clue those two are the same thing, right? You see what I'm saying? So we interface, we enter the face, right? Enter dragon, interface, right? So when you interface with someone, you become a hostage. You become a hostage to the tension between their reptilian and their dolphinic, their rat brain. Some of you don't like rats. I think rats are adorable, but some of you hate rats, so I get it. But so let's call it dolphin, although we got to get one level below dolphin, because see, dolphin's going to be Promethean in the future, right? So we need your spirit animal. This is why we call it spirit animal. Technically, I think your spirit animal is this hindbrain. And we're all like, oh, my spirit animal is guiding you. And I'm like, bitch, your spirit animal's like, can you help me, please? Can you please help? Could you please pitch in? Because all you're doing is saying that I'm supposed to lead you through this stuff, but the places you take me to are frankly kind of fucked up, right? So this hindbrain is focused on the past. So it's focused on all the pain that you've had and all the lessons that you've learned from that. That's why it's your spirit guide. It's like, dude, remember that time we got hit when we slammed that hammer into our toe? That was your spirit guide. Your spirit guide's like, yes, I remember quite well. You idiot. Sometimes it will feel that way, right? So it's always on point, trying to help you, right? Trying to help you, but actually it's like, dude, can you please stop? Can you pay attention? Is it okay if can you put your hands on the wheel? Right? Oh no, Richard just had a problem. Richard, I appreciate the effort. Richard tried. Richard was trying and he just crapped on his couch. Richard, thank you for putting one for the team. Uh-oh, now Matthew Austin's running for the toilet. All right, guys. This is what happens, right? When it's time to grow, here, when you're on the toilet, I want you to go, I am not an animal. I am a human being. And this is the John Merrick Elephant Man. See, it moves every muscle. You got to think Oscar. I did this impression at least 5 times for my friend Renee. Not once did she stop and say, "Oh my God, this is an Oscar-worthy thing." I had to imply that this is an Oscar-worthy thing. Keep working at it, guys. Keep working at it. Find the Oscar in your butthole and in your face. Find that clenching and then the letting go, right? Because if you don't have that experience, you don't really know what it's like to let go. It's kind of like take a deep breath, but you already have air in your lungs, right? You gotta let it go first. You get it. Pucker up, Buttercup. There you go. Yeah. All right, so what else we got? I know what you're talking about. Good. Oh, well, thank you, Lisa. You're amazing too. Thank you for being here. Hey, guys, thanks for being here. I appreciate you. I really do. I hope you're having a great Friday. So, as these shorter movies come out, they're just going to kind of have like little vignettes, right, from these classes. So even if you don't, you don't want to help with Patreon or you can't or whatever, I still want to put out some videos and stuff. It's just kind of changing the format, So I look forward to doing that. That's why I've been working on the Blender stuff for a while. Tony B, yes, this is my kitchen, Tony B. I have much food. I have much food for thought. I literally look at it as my kitchen. And frankly, it's more like a hot dog cart. Sometimes I get a little big for my britches. And I try and go all corporate, right? And I try and turn my little hot dog cart into like a little cafe. And then someone comes and puts a flaming bag of poop on. That's a whole other story. Yeah, it's a great hot dog cart. It's great. I love what I do. I appreciate the opportunity to do it. So thank you for being here. All right, should I go? I should go. I should end it. I should leave you more and end it. Hey, if you want a +1 for airship today, you should ask. I'm not gonna be able to have one because I can't even type in the chat. I could just read. Is it the best part of the day waking up James Stewart in your cup? Oh, thank you for that. I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate it. The kitchen is full of soul. Yes, it is. No soup for you, but for you there's soup. I have soup for you. 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 Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. So airship in an hour, and unless you guys ask me a question, I'm going. And I'm not saying maybe I need to learn how to make a better exit. Right? That could be what's needed here. I just enjoy our time together. I really do. And now that the last gathering is closed, I can do more. The Mixcoatl, this, oh man, guys, this death thing is really cool. It is really, really cool. Let's see. Is this training for, yes, it is. Okay, a lot of more squeezing the sphincter jokes. All right, I guess we're done. I want a +1. I joined Patreon, but I'm not sure if I can join. Hey, can someone, oh, thank you, Eric C. Perfect. Hello, Mo. Hey, guys, we had a great, we analyzed this bar robbery as it pertains to talking to reptiles with this course. And one of the reasons why I really love airship versus like one-on-ones is I get witness from people that I would never expect, and some of the insight we had about this bar fight. Basically, you've probably seen the video, but basically there's this guy that but we analyzed the video from this reptilian, like here's where the reptile was in the room, right? Here's where the spirit animal was in the room. Here's where the dolphin was in the room, basically, is what that course covered. By the way, you don't have to actually be a patron now. Patron allows you to have this shop, so you could just download that course if you want, and you don't have to join Patron or whatever. So, but B, I'd love to see you in airship. So I hope that you've gotten your, hey, Lislon, I hope you've gotten your invite by now. Any other +1? Someone hook up Matthew Austin. That'd be great. Nice topic about buttholes. Hey, Mo, sometimes you go where the topic is, sometimes. So, oh, wow, someone's going to bed right now. Well, good morning. That's why we say morning here, right? Because you never know. They're chocolate. Oh, my goodness, DC. Deck Rexon, someone needs to pull him aside and say, hey, dude, what? Explain what you just typed. Second, what? Huh? Wow. But I deserve this. I admit it. I opened this can of worms. It's too bad though, because like I would argue that as consciousness grows, so too would our positivity of our mouth and negativity of our rectum increase. So there's a reason why all things we associate that taste good are as far away from the sphincter as all things that we associate as gross and disgusting. And one of the weirdest things that just kind of blows your mind is when you realize how people in India clean themselves. It's certainly don't want to speak for everyone there, but it's pretty different how they view those things. And I don't know, I'm not arguing one's better or one's worse. I just think that the tangible feelings that we have about one or the other are more kind of synonymous with what the true texture of your consciousness looks like. That there's a torus, right? That you're a living torus that has 7, some of you have 8 chakras, separate kingdoms that are working together, right? So the Drysdale, or however you pronounce that, right? These different kingdoms are working in tandem, and you see these kingdoms, or we emote these kingdoms through this system of chakras, but really you're just looking at your adrenals, right? Just looking at your endocrine system. You're just looking at these different branches, these different trees within trees, right? Isn't your circulatory system, your respiratory system, all these systems basically are trees living inside or amongst trees, right? 7 trees inside of itself, right? And in this torus, the top and the bottom, you have all things joyous, all things that taste good, all things that bring pleasure, right, are placed in the top, and that all things that you would equate as negative or rejectionatory or unsanitary would be in the bottom, because that would be the emotional framework, right? It's kind of like love versus apathy. It's not love versus hate, as we know, right? You only understand this difference when you start to see this 7 or 8-dimensional world, right? You start to reflect on that. What if you believe the idea that anyone that shows horns is like, well, he's a Luciferian? This means that you would need to squeeze your butthole long enough to where every single gesture or mudra, this is a mudra, this is a mudra, this is a mudra, this is a mudra, right? This is a mudra. I think this is a mudra. Yeah, this is definitely a mudra, right? All of these things that we do would come from the cerebellum, your motor control, which is really, honestly, as deeply reptilian as you can get. So when you hear people saying, he flashed the sign of Satan, what they're really saying is, are you squeezing your butthole as tight as I am? Because I'm squeezing my butthole so tight that I actually control all gestures that come from my body, right? James just did the sign! He just did the sign! That fucker's one of them. He just did the sign. Do you understand? This is a pact. It's a cult built on squeezing our butthole. And the same people that have that pact will talk incessantly about the butthole. I realize I'm talking a lot about the butthole right now, but you know what I mean. What we focus on, what we obsess over, what we deny should exist is the very same thing that we obsess over, that we have this, right? That's why the opposite of love isn't hate. The opposite of love is apathy. Right? So to freak out all the time about butt sex is to have a deep love for the butthole. Do you understand? It's a worship. And the only way you can worship is because you do not feel worthy of it, so you have to reject it. It's this weird thing. This is, I personally think that this is why sodomy, so sodomy is actually a much broader term than we think. You and I just think of sodomy as butt sex, but actually sodomy is kind of a weird sort of just genital-esque kind of activity. But the point is that, the point is that the stigma around that is precisely because we have an immune system that's trying so hard as it can to remain sanitary. Do you follow what I'm saying? So it's good. It's good to have our fetishes about washing our hands just as much as it's good to have our fetishes about butt sex. These things are good, especially if we have weak minds, because we're not able to think for ourselves. So we utilize the social constructs, right, around us to tell us what's good and what's bad, stuff like that. You get it. You're gonna have to do it, man. You're gonna have to be brave. It's right there. I don't think he's gonna do it. All right. If you go on, James said, Spider-Man. Yeah, I remember the James Spider-Man. Okay, good. You guys are working it out. With the +1s. I only saw Parthenia. Yeah, thank you, Nico. Thank you. Parthenia hand gestures. Oh, I like that too. IP and IP. That's great. Yeah. Guys, every single thing that you think about, you eat food, right? You ingest food. Everything that you give, everything that your body has to say, I'll give you sweat glands, I'll give you lacrima, your tear ducts. But most of the things that your body has to say, to give, are going to come from the sacrum, right? You have 3 flavors of soft ice cream inside of you, don't you? You do, right? You got urine snow cone, right? You can make yellow snow cones, right? You can make, what did someone call it, right? What we talked about, the sphincter thing, right? You can make number 2s, right? And then you can, guys, you know what comes out of there. You've seen it, right? You somehow have this little doorway. You can change from yellow snow cone to white chocolate frosting, you know? You have that power. All 3 of those things, why do you think they're coming from the sacrum? Why do you think we have such a sacred hatred of the sacrum? Like, if you think about it, most of the New Light people and the Orthodox people, have you noticed that? The New Agers and the Orthodox both hate the sacrum. They both do. They hate it equally. They're like, oh my God, you're satanic, right? So anyone who takes yoga is satanic, right? Perfect example of that. Or anyone who embraces their ego or their lower self, even in a derogatory way. Guys, lower is not worse. Lower self, right? This is where we pray. This is where we're humble. This is now he's gonna get it. Now he's gonna get it. He really wants it so bad. Let's see if he gets it. All right, so we'll sign off. But yeah, we'll see you at Airship. I think you can still hear me. We'll just see if Blue Jay wants to come get this thing. You gotta have courage, friends. You gotta see that nut and say, I'm entitled to that thing. That thing belongs to me. Do you see me right there in the background? This nut is mine. And I'm gonna get it. All right, we'll see you next time. I don't want to stop this thing. See you at 12.